Cold Approach 101 Day Game Masterclass. So, Day Game has completely changed my life in the past couple of years. Here's exactly how you can do it too. Approaching the daytime is one of the hardest things for guys to do. In my estimation, 90% of guys will go their entire lives without approaching a woman in a sober daytime setting. It's a bit sad considering how many times most guys see a beautiful woman they'd sacrifice 1 inch of their dick to even just buy a coffee for. Yet they don't say anything. They give up in their heads before the game has even begun. They reject themselves and they never take a risk. Meeting a woman in the daytime only takes a minute, and it could lead you to your future wife, amazing relationships, or the most exciting night of your life that you tell your grandkids about. But guys never do it. They don't know how they lack confidence. They don't want to be embarrassed. I lived with this fear for 10 years. Ever since I realized I liked girls when I was like 13 or 14, I wouldn't talk to them. Since then, I decided to finally overcome it. And over the past 2 years, I've been doing it consistently. My life has completely changed. Gotten laid countless times. I've created amazing relationships with beautiful women all around the world. And I feel confident and at peace with myself for the first time in my life. I'm not saying getting laid and creating relationships is everything in life, but I've realized that it really helps. And daytime approaching is one of the best tools that I've found to do so. So here's exactly how I did it. From 10 years of approach anxiety to self-confidence. Table of contents. Today we're going to be going over introduction, why daytime is hard, why most guys never do it, my transformation, why day game matters, core principles, why game works, behavior over looks, evolutionary psychology, attraction, modern world, and fake it till you make it, why cold approach solves dating problems, why day game is better than night game, and then we're going to go over the plan, goals, figuring out what type of relationships you want, consistency, building habits, 30-day challenge, and then approach anxiety, why fear is normal, shifting from taking to giving value, warm-up routine, leverage, accountability, and then we're going to do your next 10 approaches, daily 3-step warm-up, example openers, building momentum, and then we're going to go over the framework for approaching, opening to closing, self-belief, mindset, angles, positioning, voice, tonality, directness, simple number closing lines, and then action steps, what to do next. So why game works? Game works because attraction is behavioral. Attraction is not based on the way your jaw looks, your height, or how much money you have. To understand this more deeply, let's look at a bit of psychology, the environment from which we evolved and how it compares to the modern world. Evolutionary psychology. Women get attracted to men who are displaying qualities of leadership, assertiveness, courage, positivity, abundance, assuredness, and aliveness. They get attracted because if they have a child with someone that possesses these traits, their child will most likely have the same traits and be able to survive in the harsh environment from which we evolved, as well as he'll be able to pass his genes on to the next generation. So these attractive traits were good for evolution and survival. In our modern world, where these traits are not as relevant, we as humans still have the same animalistic brain that was attracted to these traits in the environment from which we evolved. For example, the plains of Africa where lions were killing everyone. We lived on those plains about 100,000 years ago. The brain doesn't have time to evolve in 100,000 years. So, case in point, a good jawline or being over 6 foot would be highly irrelevant on the plains of Africa. What matters more is your ability to lead, communicate, fight, make decisions, agree, find food, find safety, ability and behavior, not looks or height. The modern world. Using cold approach as a means of self-improvement. Using cold approach as a means of self-improvement was not possible in the tribal environment from which we evolved. In that tribe, everyone has known each other since the time they were born. So if you try to step up and be someone that you're not, aka do a cold approach in a tribe, you will get shut down. They know everything about you already, so you can't approach someone and pretend to be someone that you're not. They know if you're bullied when you're younger, they know if you can't hunt or fight, they know that you might be one of the weakest links in the tribe already. So they already know who you are. Luckily for us, we don't live in a small tribal environment anymore. We live in a world of almost 8 billion people. No one knows each other, thus cold approach is born. Now we can walk up to strangers who know nothing about us and be someone completely different if we choose every single time. If you want to act like the sexiest guy in the world that has gotten girls his entire life and had everything given to him since he was born, we can do that. And that's essentially what we were trying to do on a cold approach. In the beginning, we were approaching strangers and acting like the sexiest man alive. Eventually, through repetition, habit, and practice, this becomes reality. This is why fake it till you make it works. That's why cold approach works. So why cold approach? Cold approach solves all dating problems guys are experiencing in 2025. Guys are not getting likes online. We know that online is based on things out of our control. Online dating is heavily based on looks. Go talk to girls in the real world. We know that game is behavioral. Guys don't have social skills. You get social skills by talking to girls. There's low competition in 2025. Pre-pandemic, many people were doing cold approach. So the pandemic basically like wiped everyone out, and now there's not a whole lot of people doing it, but slowly, you'll see some people doing it now. But basically, there's lower competition than pre-pandemic in cold approach. So guys don't have control over who they get matched with online. Cold approach gives you choice and ability to actually meet the people that you want to meet. Guys don't have abundance, so cold approach gives you limitless abundance. There's 3 billion plus women in the world currently. It's pretty limitless. So if you're scared of rejection, you go and get rejected, deal with the pain, and you get over it. Eventually, you become used to it, and it doesn't affect you as much. Day game versus night game. For me, at this point in my life, day game is a better solution than night game. I'm an introvert. I like peace. I like quiet. I enjoy being productive and working normal hours. I don't like being out late, being around drunk people, spending money on bar, club covers, buying drinks, getting drunk, being unhealthy, waking up late, losing sleep, buying Ubers, inflated nightlife costs of everything, loud music, trying to talk over said music, drunk sex. I do like genuinely getting to know a girl, having a regular sleep schedule, getting sleep, getting up early, being productive, doing things I want to do, having energy, being healthy, thinking clearly, learning and expanding, just to name a few. If you guys want this article, you can watch all these videos on your own. I'm going to link it in the description. So the plan. So let's come with a plan to actually do some approaches. Number one, we need to make some goals. And then number two, we need to take action towards our goals. Without a goal, you're a ship without a rudder, without action, you can't make any progress. You need to take action. There's no meditating in a cave here. Most people fail because they don't have a plan that they can execute on. Goals. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. If you don't know what you're looking for, you'll never find it. So let's have a clear idea of what we're looking for. What type of relationship do you want? Girlfriend, wife, multiple long-term relationships, one night stand. It's probably good to have like a notepad and start taking a couple notes here. You can pause the video if you want, but figure out what type of relationship are you looking for. Let's go with myself. Multiple long-term sounds good. One night stand sound good. Girlfriend sound cool. Not really looking for a wife at the moment. Combination sounds good to me. What type of girls am I looking for? Girls who are cool, funny, smart, good looking, all that stuff. What traits does she possess? So yeah, just have your notepad and answer all these questions. What type of girl are you looking for? What traits does she possess? What does she look like? How does she treat you? How does she treat others? How educated is she? What is her family like? What does she do for fun? What type of jobs does she have? Here's my notes when I first started doing cold approach 2 years ago. I wrote down a list of the traits I'm looking for. I wrote down why girls would like me as well. This is a good exercise to do. Write down like a few reasons why you're a good option, why any girl would be happy to be with you. Here's another list of just positive things about me, giving myself confidence. I had very little confidence when I first started, so I had to figure out, some logical reasons why girls would actually like me. Because I had no idea. I didn't really have confidence in myself, so it's a good idea to do this. And then it's good to be selective as well. You don't want to be just going around doing cold approach, looking for any girl who will take you. You want to be selective. So what traits are you looking for in a girl as well? It's a good thing to figure out. And here you can see that I did this in my notes from a couple years ago. Consistency. Many people have an idea that they will just get the approaches done as they're going about their daily lives. A lot of people think there's gonna do some approaches on the way to the store or on the way to school. For me, most people I coach, this is not the case. Your brain is just not going to do it. Your brain's going to trick you and give you all excuses why you shouldn't. So getting started with cold approach was a massive hurdle for me to overcome, and it really needed to be systemically attacked from every possible angle. So set some time aside and work on your game. Don't leave it up to chance. Put it in your schedule, just like the gym. You're not going to randomly go to the gym every day. It's part of your schedule. So ask yourself, where are there girls in your city? I'm in New York. They're pretty much everywhere in New York. When are they there? All the time, usually after work, more so though. And on which days? Every day after work. Pretty busy. How many days a week do you want to dedicate to cold approach? I recommend 7. I recommend doing at least 3 approaches 7 days a week if you can. That's pretty sick. If this is important to you, prioritize it and get it done. More the better. I recommend at least, okay, so 30-day challenge. I recommend at least 2 to 3 days of at least 3 approaches per session. Me personally, I did 3 approaches every single day. The more data that you can gather, as in the more approaches that you can do, the better you will get and the faster you will learn. So if you do less, you're just learning slower. But do what you can, figure out your schedule and try to fit it in there. In Miami, yeah, I did 3 approaches every single day, no matter what. I usually do like 5 to 10 now. So make it a priority if it is one for you. It takes 30 days to build a habit. So it's going to be difficult at first to do this 30-day challenge, but eventually it'll become easier and easier, just like, any habit builds. If you've gone to the gym for a long time, or if you just started working on something that takes a long time, you'll know how it becomes easier as you stick it out. In the beginning, it's kind of tough to force yourself to do it, but it becomes easier, which is nice. So before moving on, you should consider mapping out which days you will be approaching on, where you will go, and how many approaches you'll be doing each session, then put it into your schedule. Approach anxiety. This was the biggest problem in my life after high school. Since the time I found out about game until I did my first approach was an agonizing 6 or so years. This is when I first learned about like technical cold approach or like pickup. So I figured it out when I was like 18. I read the book The Game, and I didn't do an approach until I was 24. And I wanted to the whole time. I did drunk approaches, but it is what it is. Sober approach 6 years later. I had read all sorts of manuals, tips, tricks, guides, solutions, everything under the sun. Nothing has worked for me like the following to beat approach anxiety. And the best part is that it's the simplest. Mindset. First, we have to understand that it is completely normal to be scared to approach. Fear is normal. Fear keeps us alive. However, in the modern world, this fear of rejection is no longer rational. There's no tribe that we get kicked out of if we do something dumb anymore. There's no longer a risk of death if we get rejected or act out of line. So mindset, so giving. List out 5 unique qualities about yourself that girls would like to know you for. Reframe your mind to be that of giving value instead of taking value. Imagine someone comes up to you and just gives you money and says, "Have a great day." You're doing the same, but with human connection, emotion, and experience. You're providing a unique, fun, and special moment for her. Not often does she get her day interrupted by a good person who likes her and wants to meet her. Know that you're giving value and you're giving a positive experience when you do approach. Okay, warm up. So this is very important. I did this every single day before doing my approaches for my first 3 months straight. And I still do it sometimes if I'm not really feeling like just approaching straight up. But warm up. Okay, number 1, ask someone, go out there, go to where the girls are, go to where you're going to approach, and go do the warm up. Number 1 is where's Starbucks? Just ask someone, say, "Oh, thanks, see you later." Number 2, I like your outfit, have a nice day. So the have a nice day part is important. It's going to take the pressure off and give you like an easy out and just get you stating intent, and then also just taking the pressure off a little bit because you're not going to have to say anything else after that. It's just have a nice day, see ya. And then number 3 is your approach. So, hey, just had to say I thought you were cute, have a nice day. Oh, sorry, number 3 is still a warm-up. Hey, just had to say I thought you were cute, have a nice day. So more intent, and then again, exiting, have a nice day. It's an easy way to give yourself an out, take the pressure off of yourself, give yourself something simple to do. And then number 4, do your approaches. I recommend starting out with 1, and then the next day do 2, and then the next day do 3. Cool. So whatever your approaches are, just build up to it slowly and then stick with 3 or more once you're at that point. Leverage. So I also did this every single day for about 3 months. But how do you do it? So you send a trustworthy friend money. Whatever amount you don't want to lose is fine. Some people might be 50, some people might be 500. So you can send them money, $500, and then text them. If you don't get 3 videos or audios of me approaching by 6 p.m., then you get to keep it. And then number 3, you can either sit around and lose your money, or you can approach, record it, and send it and get your money back. So it's sort of just like putting a gun to your head, and you can either pick if you want to lose the money or if you want your money back. Cool. So you can see this is March 25th to 24, I believe. Me doing this still with my brother. And then yeah, same thing. Friday, same thing. You know the drill. 3 sets before 7, $20 if I fail. That works. Cool. Okay, so your next 10 approaches. These are the warm-ups that I did, and I still use to this day, and I've done for 9+ months. I wrote this a few months ago. So I've done this for, yeah, like almost 2 years now. So taking action is key. Start small, build up. Once you get better, then use this 3-step process as a warm-up before your actual approaches. So do 3 each day with this format for 3 days. Send your friend money and text them, what we just talked about. If you don't get a video or audio of me doing this in the next 60 minutes, you get to keep it. So ask for directions and then give the compliment plus eject, and then do a compliment plus the conversation. Hey, I like your outfit. What's your name? My name is Peter. Nice to meet you. Cool. Now let's get some numbers. So we did some approaches. We're using this format. Now we need a close. So you can have open and close, but what you can't have is open and middle game and no close, or open and no close. You basically need open and close. You can open with the close, but you need an open and a close to have any success. So first we'll do it by refining your open and then always closing. A good approach is always composed of at least 2 pieces, an open and a close, and those could literally be in the same sentence. Hey, what's your number? Open, close. If you open and close, you're doing better than everyone else. So the rest is refinement. So belief framework. Some days you feel like you can walk on water. Everything's going well. Everyone loves you and you're on top of the world. Unfortunately, this is not the case the majority of the time. If you want true results, you have to learn how to manage how you feel, even on bad or regular days. So if you are a good person with a functioning brain, approaching a girl inherently means that you do believe in yourself. You have to believe you are better than other guys in order to even approach at all. Your approach, you approach because you believe you are her best option and she is better off having met you. If you don't approach, that basically means you you inherently believe like you would be interrupting her day or giving her a worse off experience. But if you care about her and you believe in yourself, then you will approach, and you want her to have a better experience of life, and you want to meet her and provide value. You will approach. So the most powerful ways I've found to create belief is self-talk and memory. So I wrote this from like 2023, but I just wrote like a note: be cocky. I'm better than her at stuff, and I'm better than a lot of people. So it's just a note. Every day I go out, I take some notes, I do approaches. This was my note from 2023, just reminding myself that I am enough, I am good, I'm better than a lot of people at a lot of things. So do the same for yourself. Self-talk. John Maxwell says, begin with the end in mind. Know what your goal is and see it in your mind's eye. This philosophy allows your thoughts, words, and actions to come from a place of belief because you know exactly where you're headed. Whenever I approach a girl, my first thought is, I'm going to fuck this girl. Aggressive, yes, but it gives me belief while aligning my entire ecosystem in the right direction. So I know exactly what the goal is. I know what the end goal is. I know where I'm going. I'm not thinking, my first thought is not, I'm scared. Is she going to like me? Is she going to hate me? It's, I'm going to succeed. I'm going to achieve my goal. I'm going to go to a date. I'm going to get a number, whatever it may be. Watch this as well. Link is in the description for this article. It's all free. Owen Cook, you guys may know him, RST, one of the greatest internet marketers ever, says every time he's about to do something, he'll tell himself things like, this is going to be the best video I ever make. That was amazing. That approach was perfect. This approach is going to be the best moment of this girl's entire life. That was 11 out of 10. That was perfect. No self-doubt. I will win. I am the best. He says his belief is like the tip of a pointed spear. Again and again, he will say things like this to himself until he wins. So that's how important self-talk is. Brian Tracy, one of the greatest salesmen of all time, does the same thing. I like myself. He says to himself, I like myself. So talk to yourself and force your brain to get on your side until you win. Memory. So another way to get belief is think about your biggest successes of all time. In life, dating, or business, or school, use those memories and feelings to give you courage when you need it. Think of an attractive girl you've been with, or just imagine being with a really hot girl. Recalling those feelings of victory can flood your body with alpha chemicals necessary to take the risk of actually approaching. So I used to do this a lot when I was approaching. I would think of literally having sex with a hot girl or just recall something like that from the past. And it would give me a lot of confidence in that moment. So write down 5 reasons why you're the best option for any girl. Make them up if you have to, but you need something. Why are you the best? You need to believe you are the best in order to actually approach. If you don't believe, you don't approach. So look at the list every day and remind yourself of those reasons why you aren't at your best. Cool, so we're gonna get into angles now, technical opening stuff. That was all like preparation, mindset, planning, stuff like that. Now, how do you actually talk to a girl? Let's check it out. So different angles, side stop, third person.
Hi.
So I walk up next to her and I just start talking. And she stops. She's walking pretty slow, so it's easier. Angle number 1. Side stop, first person. So this is me wearing the meta glasses.
Excuse me. Hi, you have the same shoes as me. I was like, you're cute and you have the same shoes.
Okay, cool. So I walk up next to her and I start talking and she stops. Moving slow. So front stop, third person. This is how you stop a girl coming towards you.
Hey, excuse me.
Coach Kyle. Okay, so he's giving her enough space. He's being loud and his feet are planted. So that is how you do a front stop. Front stop, first person. This is me.
Excuse me. Hi. Excuse me. Sorry.
So you can see my hand waving, saying, excuse me, I'm talking, I'm loud, and I'm giving her distance. That's how you do a front stop, first person. Third person, walking with. So this is what I'll do pretty much 90% of the time is I'll walk with the girl though.
Hey, excuse me. Hi. Hey, excuse me. Sorry. You have like
Okay, I'm just gonna walk.
a cute look.
See, we just walk. Very easy. Again, walking with.
Hey, excuse me. Sorry. Hi. I didn't mean to scare you.
Oh, what's up?
What's up?
So she doesn't stop, that means I don't care, I just keep walking.
No, just you have like a nice style and whatever. Hi. Hey. Sorry, you just had like a cute look just reading alone in the park.
Okay, she's sitting, pretty straightforward. Stationary again.
Hey. Hi. You have a very elegant look.
Thank you.
Cool, standing, walk up, start talking. What is this one? Angle adjusting. Oh, I don't have the link for this one. I'll add it, but basically I like try to front stop her and she doesn't stop and then I just walk with her and it's all good. So yeah, the walking with is usually the angle most of the time on the street, especially if it's busy. Maybe sometimes they'll stop if they're moving slow enough, you know, and there's enough space, but most of the time I think they'll keep walking. And it's fine to just walk with them, as you can see. So words. Words are the conveyor belt for your inner ecosystem of thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. They're an outward reflection of who you are. So there are technical, psychological aspects to the words, which, when said from the right place, have a powerful effect. So volume. Louder is almost always better. The louder you are, the better things that says about you, until it's so loud that you scare her. So be loud up to that point. Do not scare her, but be loud enough to be heard. Being loud conveys that you've been the center of attention before and have been rewarded for that behavior, implying good social proof. So essentially, louder is better. Tonality, don't read too much into this, but just keep a nice even tone as you're talking to like a friend or a girl you're already sleeping with. Avoid trying for rapport by going up at the end of at the end of your sentences, like, "Oh, hey, my name's Peter. Nice to meet you. What are you up to?" Like being very friendly like that, going upwards at the end of your words, it's trying for rapport. So just be even, like I'm talking now, like, "Oh, hey, I'm Peter. Nice to meet you. What are you up to?" Cool. So you want to be almost talking down to the girl to be conveying good value. Your tone should be subtly saying, I know I'm cool. Okay, so degrees of directness. So like very direct would be you're fucking hot. Nice to meet you. About like middle direct is like you're kind of cute, like you're interesting maybe. And then indirect, completely non-direct would be like where's Starbucks. So here's like some examples. You guys can click these links again in the description. But super fucking cute look, basically like 10 out of 10 directness. You're absolutely stunning, also very direct. You look absolutely cute, a little less direct. You have an adorable fit. You have like a cute look. I just love your outfit. You're kind of cute. Where are you going? So degrees of directness. You guys can see me using all these here in the links. And then the close. So for now, just stick to the following simple closes. How do you close? You ask. I know we didn't talk about much what to say, but for now, keep it simple. In the middle game, we're going to be doing a lot of small talk. Get a question, ask a question, get an answer back, and then elaborate on it. Use statements, tell stories, say jokes, say funny things. Avoid saying "okay, cool" in the middle game, and then so you want to avoid saying "okay, cool." Um, Avoid interview mode as well, just repeatedly asking questions and interviewing her, interrogation. It's fine to ask questions, but you basically want to have some interesting, unique thoughts on her answers. Instead of like, okay, cool. What else do you do? Okay, cool. Where do you go? Okay, cool. Are you from here? That is not good. You're showing no personality. You're showing no ability to make the conversation interesting, no ability to provide value. And if you record yourself, you'll probably hear yourself do this a lot, and you just want to avoid it. Just make a statement and said like, "Oh, cool, you went to school here. Sweet. I never went to school here, but I went to school at XYZ." Or, "Oh, sweet, I just graduated from there. I'm working over at XYZ. It's pretty interesting." That's better than just, interrogation mode, interview mode. Don't overthink it too much though. As long as you have some intent in the conversation, she knows what the conversation's about, you can still close and it makes sense. Yeah, intent meaning, which we just talked about, like degrees of directness. You need some amount of compliment or some amount of intent in the conversation. Okay, so next you want to ask for the number. So two simple number formats that cover all bases. You seem cool. Let's grab a drink sometime. What's your number? You're actually cooler than expected. How do you feel about a coffee or a smoothie sometime? So the formula is qualifier, aka like give her a compliment on something behavioral rather than physical. You're actually kind of smart. You're kind of funny. You're kind of interesting. And then how do you feel about like a drink sometime? Sweet. What's your number? Me closing numbers.
Oh, okay. Tiffany, how do you feel about like a coffee or smoothie or drink like at some point with a cute Asian guy?
Cool. She says yes to this. How about we get a drink at some point?
Yeah, I'm at business school right now. I'm
Okay.
this way though.
Cool. How about at some point like we get a drink or something if
Yeah,
you're not too
sure.
busy like interning it up or whatever?
I'll give you my.
Cool. Nice and easy.
Um, let's get a drink at some point. You seem nice and cool.
You want to give my number?
Yeah.
Easy. Let's get a drink at some point. You seem nice and cool. What's your number?
Getting home. You should cancel those plans.
I didn't do what?
You should get a drink with the cute boy really quick before running home.
Maybe.
Okay, nice and easy, instant date. So next steps, use this to get 10 numbers. Text those numbers. There's an article linked inside of the article below as well for how to text girls. So you can check that out. I said this took me years of fucking updates to create. And then next you want to go on some dates. And then I wrote another article here about how to close first dates, how to run a proper first date, how to pull, how to escalate. And it's called the date ramp, how to get to sex on first dates. My backward strategy for closing 75% of my first dates. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Nice job. Now you have 10 numbers of girls you like. Once you've done it, you can do it a million times. So it's pretty easy. If you have any questions, I do like a subscriber chat where I answer all the questions every week in the link in the article. Thanks for watching.